Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to today's Power of Partners session. My name is Mascusa. I'm the acting Chief Revenue Officer at EN Enterprise, and to be honest, today it's my pleasure to be moderating this virtual panel discussion. This is the second episode of the series, which we're running in collaboration with AWS. And the first episode focused on the overall partnership between EN Enterprise and AWS. And in the second episode, we'll be focusing on how this transformative partnership is capable of shaping the landscape of cloud adoption and use cases in a pivotal and rapidly transforming yet substantially heavyweight sector. You guessed it, it's the banking, financial services, and insurance industry. It's my utmost pleasure to welcome our panel of experts joining me today. So my colleagues Wael Araj and Sebastian Linolas. They will be accompanying me on this 20 to 30 minutes as we delve into how our strategic alliance with AWS can actually enable BFSI organizations here in the Middle East and also beyond to accelerate their cloud journey, to enrich and secure their digital transformation journey on the cloud, especially with industry-specific use cases, and more importantly, to unlock value for the organization. I will not introduce my colleagues. I will allow them to introduce themselves. Maybe I will pose one general question to both of them, and then maybe we'll start with Wael and Sebastian to give you the mic to introduce yourself. So I'll ask you both a question. When you think of power of partners, what does the power of partners mean to you in the context of cloud and digital transformation? Wael?
Thank you, Majid. The power of partners, I believe it goes far beyond the collaboration. It's about shared ownership of the outcomes, especially in the world of cloud and digital transformation. When you unite AWS deep cloud innovation and global infrastructure with the scale and industry depths of EN Enterprise and Bespin agility as well, you unlock something that is more powerful than individual capabilities. And I would like to emphasize on a point that this is not a transactional relationship. We operate as strategic allies, fully aligned around the common purpose, which is our customer success.
Thank you, Wael. Sebastian?
So thanks. To me, the power of partners is the combination of complementary strengths to accelerate innovation, democratize access to technology, and create lasting positive impact. And the strategic partnership between AWS and EN is truly exemplifying it. This partnership is about creating a force multiplier effect where AWS brings its cloud infrastructure and over 200 fully featured services, while EN brings its deep regional expertise and extensive networking capabilities. This partnership also addresses multiple dimensions of digital transformation, like infrastructure and application modernization, AI innovation, and talent development. It is not only about technology, but really to create a complete ecosystem that enables both large enterprises and small and medium businesses to innovate and grow.
Thank you, Sebastian. I think as a prominent and a leading solution architect for AWS and the BFSI sector, I think there's nobody better suited to tell us a bit more in the coming minutes on the critical challenges they face, the trends that you see, and also some of the success stories. Before we start with that, Wael, so you are the CTO of Bespin. Can you give us a brief about how Bespin Global is positioned to and understands the strategic collaboration with AWS and is positioned to support organizations navigate the complexities around cloud transformation?
So first of all, Bespin Global is a public cloud powerhouse of EN Enterprise and a strategic and trusted transformation partner for over 750 clients across the Middle East. Now, since 2019, we've been at the heart of the digital acceleration across the Middle East, empowering our public and private sector organizations to reimagine how they operate, innovate, and grow in a cloud-first world. Our vision is totally aligned with the visionary agenda of the UAE leadership to build a knowledge-based, innovation-driven digital economy. And that's why our strategic collaboration with AWS is not just a technical, as mentioned by Sebastian, but it's really a transformational collaboration. Now, we are bringing together the global hyperscaler capabilities with local expertise to give the organization what we call a true utility choice. And our role is out of that is to help them to design, build, operate cloud environments that are really secure, reliable, scalable, and optimized for the business value. And what makes this even more powerful is our ability to integrate the cloud with advanced connectivity through the broader EAN infrastructure. Now, from a secure private link into edge-ready deployment, we are reducing the latency and unlocking new use cases, especially in the highly regulated industries like financial services, healthcare, and smart cities as well. Now, in short, this collaboration with AWS is a force multiplier. It allows us to help our customers to move faster, scale smarter, and stay resilient without losing the control or compromising the compliance.
Thanks, Wael. Sebastian, you spoke about how, and you mentioned that this is a transformative partnership. And frankly speaking, given you're also an expert in the industry, this industry is a rapidly transforming industry, right? I mean, it's heavyweight because it's tied down with compliance and what have you. So what do you think are some of the most critical challenges BFSI organizations face in their journey to cloud? And how are you as AWS helping them overcome those challenges?
So financial services organizations are already accelerating the cloud adoption, and in that journey, they are confronting a range of familiar and emerging challenges. The first one being the ever-evolving regulatory landscape, particularly important in the Middle East, where regulatory requirements and data residency are critical. And to address this, AWS has made significant investment in the Middle East, where we currently operate 2 fully functional AWS regions, one in Bahrain and one in the UAE, with the third one being planned in KSA by 2026. A great example of our commitment and partnership with EN is the UAE Sovereign Launchpad, powered by AWS, offered by EN, and endorsed by the UAE Cybersecurity Council. This program is specifically designed to accelerate cloud and AI adoption for UAE public sector and regulated industries like financial services. It will run on the AWS Middle East UAE region, located within the UAE borders, and will include security and sovereignty aligned with the UAE cloud security policies. The second major challenge is cybersecurity and compliance. And the way at AWS we approach this is through our shared responsibility model, where AWS manages the security and compliance of the cloud, and the customer maintains control of the security and compliance in the cloud. Additionally, AWS provides a number of security and compliance services that customer can leverage to build their security and compliance foundations. On top of that, AWS also supports hundreds of standards and compliance certifications globally, including PCI DSS for credit card payment or HIPAA for healthcare and medical, which helps our BFSI customers to satisfy the specific regulatory and compliance standards. Lastly, the skill gap in cloud technology. So it is one thing to have access to great technology, but you also need to have people who know how to use it and how to operate it. And AWS has been at the forefront to tackle this with comprehensive training initiative. In 2020, AWS committed to provide free cloud skills training to 29 million people by 2025. And today, this has been well exceeded with over 31 million people trained across 200 countries. In the UAE, more specifically, we are building the future workforce through partnerships with universities and with our collaboration with EN, aiming to train thousands in cloud technologies and AI.
Amazing, Sebastian. Thank you so much. I mean, there's clearly a lot that AWS is doing. But if I double click a little bit on 2 key priorities that you spoke about and some of those challenges, and these are top of mind challenges, I think, for those organizations. It is security, security compliance and regulations and regulatory compliance. So while if I give you the mic here, considering those are the, I would say, not just very important priorities, but top priorities for those institutions, and because it's a heavily regulated industry, how does Bespin, as a cloud service provider and managed service provider, deliver on this? How does our collaboration with AWS help address some of those to make sure that while we are delivering value, the organizations are also staying ahead of innovation as well.
In such highly regulated industries, security is not a one-time checkbox, right? It's everything. And from day one, our collaboration with AWS has been grounded in one core principle, which is security by design. Okay, we are not just providing cloud infrastructure; we are building trust here. That means we're starting from the early beginning, zero trust architecture, encryption at every layer in the architecture, constant monitoring. But beyond the tech, we really makes the difference with the ecosystem we have built around it. Now, E&D launched the UAE Sovereign Cloud Launchpad in partnership with AWS and the UAE Cybersecurity Council. This is not just another cloud offering. It's a sovereign by design platform, but especially for the region's most regulated sectors like banking, healthcare, energy, and government. Now, with that in mind, data stays in country, compliance is built from day one, and those organizations can finally innovate with confidence that every regulation is met and every control is in place. Adding to that, the Cybersecurity Technology Innovation Bureau, and just to emphasize more on the point mentioned by Sebastian before about making people able to work on that technology, with Cybersecurity Technology Innovation Bureau, which is training local talents, incubating startups, aligning with national visions like UAE 2031. Now it's clear this is not just a cloud story. It's, at the end of the day, sovereign security and innovation story rolled into one. So for those customers now, they don't have to choose between compliance and innovation. With this collaboration, they are getting both, and they get that even faster, smarter, and more securely than it has ever been before.
So the short answer is, for any BFSI organization thinking about their transformation journey, or probably on their transformation journey and thinking about the cloud, as you said, they've given them choice of utility at the moment. And at the same time, we're telling them, don't worry, right? So Sovereign Launchpad is already here. You can take that bold move and move to the cloud. But Sebastian, we all know how hyperscalers and the likes work. Consumption is a very important metric and factor that is always monitored. And when we talk about BFSI organizations, it's not just, I would suppose, the transformation is not just moving workloads that are on-premise to the cloud. It's also seeing how does the cloud enable certain use cases, right? For it to enable use cases, it obviously AWS would have identified business trends in the BFSI industry. And you would position the power of the technical architecture to enable those use cases, but also the power of your marketplace and the partners that you work with to provide use cases that can enable and unlock those business use cases. So how do you see the role of AWS here evolving between your intersection of trends and at the same time technology innovation? Where do you see that intersection, and how do you see your role evolving over the next 5 years?
And in fact, so we've seen over the past few years how technologies, and especially generative AI, have opened new possibilities across multiple industries, and including financial services. And this really helped to create new opportunities and application. Today, with organizations increasing their trust and maturity with large language models, with the data, they are starting to push for more customer-facing use cases. And the very first significant trend is with the emergence of agentic workflows, which is truly transforming the customer experience. Where we all use digital assistants like chatbots for simple tasks like blocking lost or stolen credit card, or even checking the claim status. But generative AI is now taking this to the next level. We start seeing multi-agent systems to streamline more complex processes like loan and credit applications. And these new autonomous systems involve specialized AI agents working together. One, as an example, verifying the income, another one evaluating fraud risk, and a third one assessing credit risk, all orchestrated seamlessly to process applications faster and enhance the customer experience. The second trend we see is the focus on employee experience and productivity. And a great example is in contact center, where AI agents work alongside human agents. These AI agents can help identifying customer intent, quickly analyze sentiment of the call, complemented with past interactions, and also provide real-time insights to help accelerating the resolution of issues. Another example is with asset managers. By leveraging AI agents to automate research, analyze, and summarize large documentations, they are able to free up the analyst time to then focus on more complex activities. And the third trend we see is also, which is also accelerating, is the cross-industry data sharing, which is evolving in two interesting directions. And to offer more personalized services and products, financial services institutions are now looking to engage at the point of dream instead of the point of need. And what I mean by that is that instead of waiting customers to request for financial products, like requesting for an insurance quotation for a car and looking for the best price, banks and other financial institutions are looking to anticipate the customer needs by understanding the behavior and also the intent earlier in the journey, like when they are browsing for cars online or even visiting the car showrooms. And recently, the Central Bank of UAE released the Open Finance Framework, enabling secure cross-sector data sharing, encouraging even for further innovation. The other aspect of data sharing is in fighting financial crime. And for example, banks are now combining their own data with data from either social media or even telecom providers to identify patterns and prevent fraud more efficiently, like, for example, in preventing impersonation calls from someone pretending calling from your bank and trying to gain important information. An important point to note here is that data underpins all those use cases and trends. And without strong data foundations, customers will fall short in maximizing value realization. And this is where AWS's role becomes increasingly crucial. By providing access to data and AI services like Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Bedrock, customers can build intelligent, context-aware AI applications like those agentic workflows and AI agents, while maintaining the highest standards of security and compliance.
Amazing, Sebastian. I think get your data ready, get your data in place, and BFSI organizations we can tell them the sky is the limit. The technology is there, the platforms are there, the use cases, the marketplace. I think they've got a lot that they can leverage to bring those use cases to life. And I'm sure over the past, several months and years, AWS has been supporting organizations bring some of those use cases to life as well. So can you share with us a little bit some of the success stories that you've had in this sector, like some of the really interesting stuff that you've done? Because this is what excites people, right? Something that has actually gone live.
So when you look at the cloud adoption in the BFSI sector, this has really evolved from being primarily a technology choice to now becoming a business imperative. And financial services institutions of all sizes now clearly understand the value proposition of cloud. And we can really see this in the pace and scope of innovation they are achieving with AWS. One of the examples is NatWest, one of the UK's leading banks serving 19 million customers, where they really work and focus on customer experience and personalization. By bringing together data, analytics, and machine learning, they create tailored banking experience, delivering personalized support to meet the customer financial needs, whether that's helping buying a house or even savings for the future. In the fintech space, another example with Nubank in Brazil, they started by providing a no-fee credit card and became rapidly Brazil's largest independent bank and scaled its services with AWS to serve over 100 million customers globally. Stripe, a payment organization, has built its entire payment infrastructure on AWS and achieving 5.5 nines of availability. So this resulted in substantial business benefits, such as helping avoiding user abandonment due to payment failures, and hence maintaining customer trust. And closer to us in our region, a leading insurance provider worked with AWS to broaden its sales channels and offer insurance product to third parties through embedded insurance. And by leveraging on AWS, they were able to achieve cost optimization while improving the performances and the efficiency of the platform. And what's really fascinating across all these examples is how AWS is enabling these organizations to not just modernize their application and infrastructure, but as well to transform the way they serve their customers, whether it is from personalized banking, innovative insurance products, scalability, or resiliency. AWS is helping financial institutions of all sizes innovate.
Amazing, Sebastian. I think good lessons, I would say. Certainly a lot of best practices as well from delivering those use cases that can be adopted by other organizations. And the way I like to see it is AWS being at the forefront of innovation as a cloud provider is one angle. The other angle is the organizations like Bespin that can deliver more services around the cloud as well, right? I'm sure they've got their experience and their success stories. So, Wael, can you share with us also some success stories that highlight the range and the breadth of services that Bespin offers? Some of them, via your own assets and the people and the subject matter expertise that you have.
We had the opportunity to work with some of the most innovative financial institutes in the market in the region, from a fintech startup into a very well-established banks, helping them harness the cloud across operation, development, and security. So for one of the region's top financial institute, we helped that client from his early beginning of the cloud journey, building the right business case around that migration, calculating accurate TCO ROI out of that, migrating the workload into the cloud, modernize their workload for cost saving and better operation excellence, let's say. And then we manage their infrastructure end to end through our 24/7 Cloud Operations Center, which covers everything from real-time monitoring, proactive monitoring, incident response into FinOps control and compliance reporting. We've automated the much of the heavy lifting, reduced manual efforts by nearly 30%, while ensuring zero downtime during peak transaction hours. It's a true example of operation excellence in action. And so many other examples, like we partnered with a leading UAE-based insurance provider to build their secured and scalable landing zone, fully aligned with all of the security control, local data residency, compliance requirement, which turned into the foundation of their future cloud native services. We've also delivered enterprise-grade data platform, including end-to-end data integration, full ETL processes, data pipelines that empowers BFSI clients to make better and faster decisions as well. And across all of those engagements, we bring in always DevOps to accelerate innovation and FinOps to ensure cloud and cost efficiency. And our Cloud Operations Center for real-time, proactive, and governance. What unites all of these stories at the end of the day is one thing: our focus on enabling BFSI organizations to move with speed, innovate with confidence, and scale with purpose.
Move with speed, innovate with confidence, and
scale with purpose.
Scale with purpose. I love that. I think, to be honest, that's even a good ending. I think we've reached the top of the hour for our session. I think it's been an enriching conversation. I think thank you both Sebastian and Wael for the insights that you have shared, and wish our audience a very good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Majid.
Thank you.